In the quiet stillness of a sun-drenched pasture, a scene unfolds that is both captivating and grotesque. A horse, majestic in its stature, stands frozen in time, its coat glistening under the sun. But upon closer inspection, a horrific sight emerges, a gaping wound, a festering hive of bees embedded in its flesh. This is not merely a wound. It is a testament to nature's darker side, a chilling reminder of the intricate and often brutal relationships that exist in the animal kingdom. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is drawn into a world where beauty and horror intertwine, where the line between life and death blurs in the most unsettling of ways. The bee infestation on this horse is a phenomenon that, while rare, is a stark reminder of the relentless forces of nature. Bees, typically seen as harmless pollinators, can become a nightmare when they invade the body of a larger animal, the horse, perhaps drawn to the sweet scent of nectar or the allure of a blooming flower, unknowingly became a host for these tiny marauders. The bees, in their quest for survival, burrow into the horse's skin, creating a hive that thrives on the warmth and nutrients of its living host. The wound, a grotesque amalgamation of flesh and buzzing life, becomes a breeding ground for the colony, a dark sanctuary where the bees flourish at the expense of the horse's suffering. As the infestation progresses, the horse's body becomes a battleground. The buzzing sound of the bees fills the air, a sinister symphony that echoes the chaos within. The horse, once a symbol of grace and power, now stands as a victim of nature's cruel whims. The wound oozes with a mixture of blood and pus, a grotesque display of the body's desperate attempt to fight back against the invasion. The bees, oblivious to the pain they cause, continue their relentless work. In a quiet pasture, where the sun bathes the land in a golden hue, a striking white horse stands, its beauty marred by a grotesque sight. The creature's flank is home to a horrific barnacle wound, a gruesome testament to nature's darker side. As we draw closer, the stark contrast of the horse's pristine coat against the unsightly growths becomes painfully apparent. These barnacles, typically associated with the ocean's depths, have found an unlikely host on this magnificent animal, creating a chilling image that evokes both fascination and horror. How, you may wonder, did such a thing come to be? This is not merely a tale of a horse and a peculiar affliction. It is a grim reminder of the intricate and often unsettling relationship between nature and its inhabitants. Barnacle infestation is not just a marine phenomenon. It can occur in unexpected places. These relentless creatures, known scientifically as Cirripedia, are crustaceans that cling tenaciously to surfaces, often forming dense colonies. In this case, they have latched onto the horse's skin, burrowing into the flesh and creating painful lesions. The barnacles, with their hard calcareous shells, can cause significant irritation and distress, leading to infections and severe discomfort for the horse. As they feed on the host's nutrients, they create a cycle of dependency that can be devastating. The horse, once a symbol of strength and grace, now becomes a living canvas of suffering, a stark reminder of how nature can turn against its own. As we delve deeper into the science of this infestation, we uncover the grim reality of how barnacles thrive. They are opportunistic, often targeting weakened or injured animals, and can proliferate rapidly under the right conditions. The horse's immune response may be compromised, allowing these parasites to take hold. This raises unsettling questions about the balance of life. What happens when the natural order is disrupted? Is it a reflection of the horse's environment, or perhaps a consequence of human interference in nature? As we observe this tragic situation, we are left to ponder the moral implications of our relationship with the animal kingdom. Are we, as humans, the architects of this suffering? Our actions, whether through habitat destruction or pollution, can have far-reaching consequences, leading to unforeseen challenges for the creatures with whom we share this planet. In the end, the barnacle-infested horse becomes a symbol of the delicate balance we must maintain with nature. And while the sight may be disturbing, we can't help but chuckle at the thought of this majestic creature, now a reluctant host to nature's bizarre sense of humor, reminding us that sometimes the joke is on us. in the dense, shadowy heart of the rainforest, where the air hangs heavy with moisture and the sounds of wildlife echo like whispers in the night, a chilling spectacle unfolds. Here, we find a majestic creature, a silverback gorilla, once a symbol of strength and serenity, now marred by a horrific wound. This wound, a gruesome testament to nature's darker side, is the result of a bee infestation that has taken root in the most unexpected of places. As we delve deeper into this unsettling scene, prepare yourself for an exploration that is as fascinating as it is grotesque. The gorilla, with its powerful frame and expressive eyes, is now a canvas of suffering. The hive, lodged painfully in the folds of its thick fur, has become a breeding ground for thousands of bees. These tiny creatures, often seen as innocuous and industrious, have transformed into a nightmarish plague. The sight is both shocking and captivating. The gorilla's skin is swollen and discolored, a stark contrast to its once majestic appearance. The bees, in their relentless pursuit of survival, have burrowed into the gorilla's flesh, creating a grotesque symbiosis that speaks to the brutal realities of life in the wild. But how did it come to this? The answer lies in the complex interactions between species. Bees, typically known for their role in pollination and honey production, can become aggressive when their hives are threatened. In this case, the gorilla, perhaps curious or unwittingly invasive, has disturbed a hive, prompting a swarm of angry bees to defend their home. The gorilla, despite its size and strength, is not immune to the painful stings of these tiny defenders. Each sting injects venom, causing excruciating pain and swelling, leading to the grotesque wound that now festers on its body. As we observe this tragic scene, we are forced to confront the harsh realities of nature. The gorilla, a creature that commands respect and admiration, is now a victim of circumstance. The bees, too, are simply following their instincts, driven by the primal need to protect their queen and hive. This dark dance of survival illustrates a fundamental truth of the natural world. Every creature, no matter how powerful, can fall prey to the whims of another. The infestation continues to grow, a living testament to the relentless cycle of life and death. The bees, thriving in their newfound home, multiply rapidly, their numbers swelling as they feast on the gorilla's flesh. Yet, as they thrive, the gorilla suffers, caught in a tragic predicament that blurs the lines between predator and prey. The wound, once a mere irritation, has now become a festering mass, attracting other opportunistic creatures. Flies buzz around, drawn to the scent of decay, while the forest scavengers lurk in the shadows, waiting for their chance to exploit the gorilla's misfortune. This unsettling tableau invites us to reflect on the interconnectedness of life. The gorilla's plight serves as a cautionary tale about the fragility of existence and the unpredictable nature of the wild. It reminds us that, in the grand tapestry of life, every thread is intertwined, and the actions of one species can have dire consequences for another. In this case, the gorilla's curiosity and the bee's instinct to protect have created a horrifying scenario that showcases the darker side of nature. As we draw closer to the conclusion of this dark narrative, we must pause to consider the moral implications of our observations. Humans, often seen as the apex predators, have a unique responsibility to the natural world. Our actions can disrupt delicate ecosystems, leading to unforeseen consequences. The gorilla, a victim of chance, reflects the vulnerability of all creatures in the face of human encroachment and environmental change. We must ask ourselves, are we too, not like the gorilla, unknowingly provoking the wrath of nature through our actions? In the end, as we witness the tragic fate of this once mighty gorilla, we are reminded of the thin in the heart of the Australian outback, where the sun scorches the earth and the air shimmers with heat. A scene unfolds that is both shocking and grotesque. Picture a kangaroo, a symbol of the wild, bounding gracefully across the rugged terrain. But today, this kangaroo is not the picture of health and vitality. Instead, it bears a horrific wound, a gaping hole in its side, a gruesome testament to nature's darker side. This is not just any injury, it is the result of a bee infestation, a phenomenon that is as fascinating as it is repulsive. As we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, prepare yourself for a journey into the macabre world of parasitism, where the line between life and death blurs in the most unexpected ways. The wound on the kangaroo is a festering hive, a grotesque amalgamation of flesh and buzzing insects. Bees, typically seen as harmless pollinators, have turned into a nightmarish plague for this unfortunate creature. The infestation begins innocently enough. A few bees find their way into the kangaroo's fur, drawn by the warmth and the scent of its skin. But what starts as a minor annoyance quickly escalates into a full-blown invasion. The bees, driven by instinct, burrow into the soft tissue, creating a hive that thrives on the kangaroo's very life force. As the infestation progresses, the kangaroo's body becomes a battleground. The bees, with their stingers and relentless determination, wreak havoc on the kangaroo's immune system. The wound oozes with a mixture of blood and pus, a putrid cocktail that attracts even more insects, turning the kangaroo into a magnet for decay. The buzzing sound of the bees fills the air, a chilling reminder of the chaos that has taken over this creature's life. It is a dark symphony of nature's cruelty, where survival of the fittest takes on a sinister twist. But what drives these bees to such extreme behavior? In the animal kingdom, survival often comes at a cost. The bees, in their quest for a suitable nesting site, have chosen the kangaroo as their unwitting host. This parasitic relationship, while horrifying, is not uncommon in nature. Many creatures, from insects to larger predators, rely on others for survival, often leading to gruesome outcomes. The kangaroo, once a proud symbol of the Australian wilderness, now serves as a cautionary tale of the harsh realities of life in the wild. As we observe this tragic scenario, it is impossible not to draw parallels to the human experience. Just as the bees exploit the kangaroo's body, humans often exploit the natural world for their own gain. Deforestation, pollution, and habitat destruction are just a few examples of how our actions can lead to devastating consequences.